Hi there, and welcome back to another episode in our series dedicated to keeping your vision sharp, even while you sleep. Now, I know that idea might sound unusual at first. How can your eyes be protected at night if they're closed? But the truth is, your eyes don't simply switch off when you fall asleep. Instead, they enter a period of intense repair and regeneration. And here's the key. This restoration process depends heavily on the nutrients you've given your body before bedtime. Let me ask you something. Do any of these situations sound familiar? You turn on a lamp in the evening, but the light looks dimmer than you remember. You reach for your reading glasses more often, not just for small print, but even to see objects right in front of you. Maybe you avoid driving after dark, not because you're tired, but because the glare from headlights overwhelms your eyes. Street signs seem fuzzy, and your confidence behind the wheel isn't what it used to be. If you nodded yes to any of these, you're not alone. These aren't just mild annoyances. They're some of the earliest warning signs of declining vision. And the scariest part? This decline doesn't usually happen overnight in one big dramatic moment. It sneaks up quietly, night after night, as your retinal tissue, your lens, and even the tiny capillaries in your eyes lose strength. But here's the good news. Just as damage accumulates little by little, healing can also build gradually, if you provide your body with the right building blocks. And some of the most powerful medicine doesn't come from a pharmacy. It comes from your kitchen. Specifically, in the form of warm, nutrient-rich soups you can enjoy before bedtime. That's exactly what this video is about. I'm going to walk you through 4 powerful soups you can prepare at home. Each one is simple, delicious, and designed to deliver the nutrients your eyes desperately need at night. I'll explain why each works, what nutrients it contains, and I'll even share real-life stories of people who tried these recipes and saw results. And I'll tell you this upfront, the final soup on our list is my personal favorite, the one I recommend most often for people struggling with night blindness and eye strain. So stick with me until the end, because what you're about to learn could be the missing piece in your eye health journey. And if this is your first time watching, hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more natural, science-backed ways to keep your vision strong after 60. Alright, let's dive in with the first soup. Pumpkin soup. Pumpkin may look like a seasonal decoration for Halloween, but when it comes to eye health, it's a nutritional powerhouse. Once blended into a creamy soup, pumpkin delivers a concentrated dose of beta-carotene, lutein, and vitamin A. Now, why do these matter? Think of your retina, the light-sensitive film at the back of your eye. Every time you move from a bright room to a dim hallway, or from daylight into the night, your retina has to adjust quickly. The protein responsible for this adjustment is called rhodopsin, and rhodopsin depends directly on vitamin A. Without enough of it, your night vision fades, and adapting to darkness becomes much harder. Pumpkin is also loaded with lutein and zeaxanthin. These 2 antioxidants are like natural sunglasses for your eyes. They concentrate in the macula, the central part of your retina, and filter harmful blue light. At the same time, they fight oxidative stress, the gradual cellular damage caused by free radicals. But there's another secret ingredient hidden inside pumpkin: zinc. Why is zinc so important? Because even if you eat enough vitamin A, your body can't get it to the retina without zinc acting as a transport vehicle. So pumpkin doesn't just give you vitamin A, it also provides the mineral needed to deliver it to where your eyes need it most. Let me tell you about Bill, a 72-year-old retired teacher. He came to me frustrated because even with his glasses, reading the evening paper had become a chore. Driving at night. Forget about it. Headlights from oncoming cars made him so uncomfortable he often pulled over just to feel safe. Instead of starting with expensive supplements, we kept it simple. I suggested he add pumpkin soup to his dinner routine 3 nights a week. 2 weeks later, he came back with a smile. "Doc," he said, "I'm not saying I have eagle eyes, but I can finally read the football scoreboard again without squinting." It wasn't a miracle. It was simply his body responding to the nutrients it had been craving for years. So if pumpkin isn't already in your diet, take this as a sign. A single bowl of pumpkin soup in the evening is a gentle, delicious way to fuel your eyes with what they need to heal at night. And that's just the beginning. Because while pumpkin supports the retina, our next soup targets something equally important: the very structure of your eye itself. And for that, we'll turn to a food most people never associate with vision: bone broth. Let's move on to the second powerhouse soup for your eyes: bone broth. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Bone broth? Isn't that just old-fashioned soup stock? Well, yes and no. The broth you get from simmering bones for hours isn't just flavored water. It's a nutrient-dense liquid loaded with compounds that most modern diets are desperately missing. And when it comes to your eyes, bone broth is almost like a structural repair kit in a bowl. Here's why. Your eyes aren't just delicate lenses floating in space. They're living organs, with connective tissue, blood vessels, and a protective outer layer that all need constant maintenance. Over time, these tissues weaken. The collagen in your cornea and sclera thins out, the membranes around your retina lose elasticity, and circulation becomes sluggish. This is where bone broth shines. When you simmer bones slowly, you release collagen, gelatin, amino acids like glycine and proline, and trace minerals like magnesium and calcium. These are the raw materials your eyes, and skin, and joints need to stay strong. Think about it like this. If pumpkin soup feeds your retina with light-sensitive nutrients, bone broth strengthens the actual walls of your eye house. Without sturdy walls, even the brightest windows can't function. Let me share an example. Marjorie, 68, came to me with a problem that wasn't exactly poor eyesight, but something related: constant dry eyes. She told me it felt like sandpaper every evening, no matter how many eye drops she used. What's interesting is that dry eyes are often linked not just to moisture levels, but to the health of the connective tissue around the tear ducts. We added bone broth into her nightly routine, just 1 cup before bed, 3 or 4 nights a week. After a month, she called me and said, "I'm finally waking up without that gritty feeling. I didn't think soup could fix that." And it makes sense. The amino acids and minerals in broth don't just lubricate your eyes directly. They repair the tissues that control tear production and circulation. The result is not only less dryness but also more resilient, younger-feeling eyes overall. Now, you don't need to spend a fortune buying designer bone broth online. You can make it yourself. Just take beef bones or chicken carcasses, cover them with water, add some apple cider vinegar to draw out minerals, and let it simmer for 12 to 24 hours. The longer you cook, the more nutrients you extract. Strain it, season lightly, and sip it warm before bedtime. Your eyes and your joints will thank you. Alright, now let's move on to soup number 3, which might surprise you: lentil soup. Most people think of lentils as humble, budget-friendly food. But these tiny legumes are like treasure chests packed with eye-protecting nutrients. Specifically, lentils are rich in zinc, bioavailable iron, folate, and plant-based protein. And they have another hidden bonus: fiber. Let's start with zinc. Remember in the first part we talked about vitamin A needing zinc as a delivery truck to reach your retina? Well, lentils are one of the best vegetarian sources of zinc you can find. They're also loaded with iron, which improves blood flow. Good circulation isn't just about avoiding fatigue. It ensures your retinas get a steady supply of oxygen and nutrients. Without that, your vision begins to blur, especially in low light. But lentils also help your body in a more indirect way. They regulate blood sugar. Why does this matter for your eyes? Because unstable blood sugar damages the delicate blood vessels in the retina over time, a condition called diabetic retinopathy. Even if you're not diabetic, frequent sugar spikes and crashes can stress your eyes. Lentils, with their fiber and protein, slow down digestion and help keep your blood sugar stable. That means less strain on your retinal vessels. Here's a real-world story. David, 61, worked as a long-distance truck driver. He told me that after years of eating fast food, his eyesight began to feel foggy, especially after meals. Sometimes he'd literally pull over because he couldn't focus clearly on the road signs at night. We didn't overhaul his entire diet all at once. Instead, we started small. I suggested he replace 1 greasy roadside meal each week with a simple lentil soup he could make at home and store in a thermos. Within weeks, he noticed something surprising. Not only did he have more steady energy for long drives, but his night vision improved. The fog lifted. His words, not mine. The beauty of lentil soup is that it's easy to prepare. You don't need fancy equipment or exotic spices. Just rinse your lentils, simmer them with onions, garlic, carrots, and some broth, and season with turmeric or cumin for an anti-inflammatory boost. 10 ingredients, 1 pot, 30 minutes, and you have a vision-boosting meal. And let's not forget the folate. Folate supports DNA repair and cell turnover, which is especially important in the fast-regenerating tissue of your eyes. Combine that with lentils' antioxidants, and you have a soup that works on multiple levels: nourishing, protecting, and stabilizing your vision. So, by now we've covered 3 soups: pumpkin to feed your retina, bone broth to strengthen your eye structures, and lentils to stabilize circulation and sugar levels. But we are not done yet. The final soup on this list might just be the most important one. It's a vibrant, colorful dish packed with compounds specifically designed to fight oxidative stress, the #1 enemy of aging eyes. In fact, it's so powerful that researchers studying diets around the world consistently find people who eat more of this type of soup have lower rates of cataracts and macular degeneration. It's not just a comfort food, it's practically medicine in a bowl. So let's move into the last and most colorful recipe, tomato and carrot soup. Now we arrive at the fourth and final soup, one of the most colorful, nutrient-dense, and effective recipes for protecting your vision, tomato and carrot soup. Why this combination? Because it brings together two of the most powerful eye-protecting nutrients found in nature, lycopene from tomatoes and beta-carotene from carrots. Together, they form a kind of shield against the oxidative stress that silently damages your eyes every single day. Let's start with tomatoes. They're loaded with lycopene, vitamin C, potassium, and antioxidants. Lycopene, in particular, is a red pigment that belongs to the carotenoid family. Multiple studies show that lycopene can reduce the risk of cataracts and macular degeneration. How? By neutralizing free radicals, unstable molecules that break down healthy eye tissue. Think of oxidative stress like rust slowly eating away at metal. That's what free radicals do to your cells. And just like rust accelerates when exposed to harsh conditions, oxidative stress worsens with sun exposure, pollution, and even poor diet. Lycopene works like an anti-rust shield, preventing this breakdown before it gets out of control. Now, add carrots into the mix. Carrots are famous for their beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A. We've already talked about how crucial vitamin A is for rhodopsin, the protein that lets you see in low light. But here's the thing, carrots don't just stop at vision in the dark. Their antioxidants also protect your cornea and lens, reducing the chances of cloudiness and keeping your vision crisp. What makes this soup so powerful is synergy. Lycopene is fat-soluble, which means your body absorbs it better when combined with healthy fats. Carrots also benefit from this. So when you simmer tomatoes and carrots together with a splash of olive oil, you're creating the perfect delivery system for your body to absorb these vision-saving compounds. And the taste. Sweet, tangy, rich. It feels indulgent while secretly working like medicine. Here's a quick story. Angela, 74, loved gardening but hated the fact that her eyes watered uncontrollably every time she stepped into bright sunlight. Sunglasses helped a little, but her sensitivity to glare made her afternoons less enjoyable. She started drinking a cup of tomato and carrot soup 3 to 4 times a week, alongside her usual meals. Within a month, she noticed that the glare didn't bother her as much. She could finally stay outside longer without squinting or tearing up. It wasn't magic. It was her body replenishing the antioxidants it had been missing for years. And she's not alone. Populations in the Mediterranean, where tomato-based dishes are a staple, consistently report lower rates of age-related eye conditions. Coincidence? I don't think so. The science supports it. Lycopene, beta-carotene, and vitamin C create a powerful defense system against oxidative stress. So, let's recap. Pumpkin soup fuels your retina with vitamin A, lutein, and zinc, improving night vision and adaptation to darkness. Bone broth rebuilds connective tissues, strengthens the cornea and sclera, and reduces dryness by supporting tear ducts. Lentil soup stabilizes blood sugar, boosts circulation with iron and zinc, and protects your retinal vessels. Tomato and carrot soup delivers antioxidants like lycopene and beta-carotene, shielding your eyes from oxidative stress and glare. 4 simple soups. 4 powerful tools to restore, protect, and maintain your vision, naturally. Now, you might be wondering, do you need to make all of these every single week? Not necessarily. Think of them as options in your toolbox. Maybe you start with pumpkin soup twice a week, then add bone broth on colder nights, lentil soup for a filling lunch, and tomato carrot soup as a refreshing, antioxidant-rich dinner. Rotate them based on your schedule and preferences. The key is consistency. Because here's the truth, eye health doesn't decline overnight, and it doesn't restore overnight either. But with steady nourishment, your body can repair itself in ways you might not even realize are possible. I've seen patients who thought their only options were stronger glasses, expensive supplements, or even surgery. Yet when they gave their bodies the right nutrients, consistently, not just once in a while, they noticed real changes. Clearer vision, less strain, better focus, and more confidence driving at night. Of course, soups aren't the only factor. Good sleep, staying hydrated, and protecting your eyes from excessive screen time also matter. But adding these soups to your evening routine is a delicious, low-cost way to give your body what it needs to heal while you rest. And here's one last tip. If you want to maximize absorption, pair these soups with a small serving of healthy fats, like olive oil, avocado, or nuts. Many of the key nutrients for vision are fat-soluble, meaning they need a little help to travel through your system. So drizzle some olive oil on your pumpkin soup, or sprinkle crushed walnuts over your tomato-carrot blend. It's not just tasty, it's science. Let me leave you with this thought. Every night, while you sleep, your eyes are working quietly behind the scenes. They're repairing DNA, reducing oxidative damage, and replenishing photoreceptors. But they can't do this without raw materials. By giving your body nutrient-rich foods like these soups, you're not just feeding your stomach. You're fueling the very cells that let you see the world clearly. Imagine waking up a few weeks from now and realizing you can read the clock across the room without squinting. Imagine going for an evening drive without dreading the glare of headlights. Imagine picking up your favorite book again. No magnifying glass, no frustration. It's possible. And it starts with something as simple as what you choose to eat before bed. So, which soup will you try first? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because your vision deserves attention, and together we'll keep it strong for years to come. Thanks for watching, and here's to clearer nights and brighter days ahead.